Welcome to Surviving Schizophrenia with Steven. My name is Steven. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm here with my dad today.
I'm Steve, and welcome back to Surviving Schizophrenia. So, Stephen, I want to ask you, what is your daily experience living with schizophrenia? Is it delusions and hallucinations that you're having issues with every day? Or is it maybe cognitive issues or anxiety and depression? So what is your daily experience living with schizophrenia?
It's very tough, to say the least. I fell ill about 12 years ago when I was 12 years old with childhood-onset schizophrenia in 2012. And back then, my daily struggle did include hallucinations and delusions. I would see things. I thought that I was part of a war between the gods of heaven and hell, way out of reality. That has gotten way better. And my reality today, where I am still struggling but doing a lot better, does not include any kind of hallucinations or delusions any longer. I did have one brief hallucination a couple months back. I have a video on that actually, and that was the last time I've had a hallucination, and it's been a very long time since.
So even though you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia, Stephen, for 12 years, your delusions and hallucinations, those lifted then with medication and time.
Yes, with medication and with time, they both lifted. It's been very good in that regard for many years now.
So what is then the daily experience that you're having living with schizophrenia? Is it cognitive issues, the slowness in memory, recall of events, speech? What would you say are the daily challenges that you have with schizophrenia?
Pretty much all of that when it comes to cognitive issues, when it comes to thinking clearly, when it comes to putting words together properly. It can be very difficult at times for all of that to be able to actually, well, one, focus enough on something to get it done, two, to have the energy to be able to do it, and then to be in the right mindset and being able to actually function cognitively as well. And that's very hard with my schizophrenia because I am always tired. I am always struggling with my cognitive issues. I have like a foggy brain, I guess you could say, like brain fog, and it's hard for me to think. Just in general, at times, it's harder than it normally otherwise would be.
So this is a core feature of schizophrenia for the vast majority of people with schizophrenia. Of course, everyone is different.
Of course.
We're discussing, Steve is discussing his experience with schizophrenia. Now 12 years, half his life, he's 24. And the cognitive issues are really the core issue affecting those suffering from schizophrenia, many of those suffering from schizophrenia. And what I see with Stephen on a daily basis is, kind of a slowness in processing speed.
Yeah.
So that's an issue. And then, forgetting, memory issues.
Forgot to mention that actually, yes. My memory is quite awful. I have to constantly write down, I don't actually write down physically, on my phone, everything I want to do or I think is important to be done. Otherwise, I know I'll forget it. So even like, I come up with an idea for a video, right? And I'll be okay, write that down immediately because if I don't, I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, in fact, sometimes when you're out on some of your daily walks, you'll give me a call and say, "Hey, Dad, I got a video idea. This is what it is, and you want me to write it down because you don't want to forget it before you get home. Maybe you're out for a 1 or 2 hour walk."
Yeah.
So these are, this is how does this then affect your daily living? You've explained a little bit here about having to write things down or on your phone, keep notes on your the memo pad on your phone.
Yeah.
How are the memory issues? How do those affect your daily life? Other than that,
I don't have many things I have to do in my life. But what I do feel like I need to do is work on this channel. And my cognitive issues every day do affect my ability to work on this channel. If I can't concentrate enough on something one day, or if I'm just feeling really out of it and I can't put words together properly, I can't really record a good video. And so that's a big impact in my life because I want to record, I should be recording. But if I have these cognitive issues that are too bad one day, I just can't. And that does affect my life that way.
And what about, difficulty with daily tasks? As far as, cooking and just regular daily tasks that you might be engaged in.
Well, I don't really, I don't really cook. I need a lot of support. And that includes my meals, that includes just general support. Like, I can't take care of myself completely on my own right now.
Right. So I think this highlights, with, our reality with Stephen 12 years into this illness. He had none of these symptoms of schizophrenia before he fell ill at age 12, but childhood-onset schizophrenia is often considered a very tough, more severe form of the illness. Stephen has treatment-resistant childhood-onset schizophrenia, so it is we find ourselves in a situation where even 12 years into the illness, Stephen needs quite a bit of support, and that's really important for people with schizophrenia to get that support, and for the care providers to understand that there are these cognitive issues and this, that require, supportive environment.
Yeah.
What about the stigma that is associated with schizophrenia? How does that affect you, Stephen? Or does it affect you?
It doesn't affect me now as much as it did when I was first told that I had schizophrenia after I was diagnosed. Because now, well, I have this channel and I have all you amazing people watching, and I get that support and realize not everyone has the stigma, but the stigma is very real. And especially when I just felt ill many years ago now, 12 years ago, all I was familiar with about schizophrenia was the stigma, essentially. And I would just cry. I would just cry and cry until I couldn't cry anymore, because I could repeat over and over again, I have schizophrenia. I couldn't accept it because of the stigma. I thought schizophrenia was very different than it actually is, stigma-wise.
Right. It's portrayed oftentimes as someone being very violent and completely out of reality, which, in reality is not the case, except for as far as being out of reality when someone is in psychosis. So, Stephen, other than the cognitive issues that you have, which is, perhaps a slower processing speed and some memory issues that you have with your schizophrenia today and your daily life, what other issues is there anxiety and depression that accompany your daily, experience with schizophrenia?
Most definitely. The anxiety is always there,
But
whether I feel it or not. And it impacts me in a lot of different ways. It's really hard to explain. I'm always on edge. I don't sleep well because of it. I can't relax. I'm always tense. I'm always in a state of agitation. Not always severely, but I constantly have this stress. And it's something that just, it's like, I don't know how to explain it any better.
That's a difficult, excuse me, that's a difficult, way to live. And, we're here to support you, Stephen.
Thank you, Dad. Yeah.
That's, I think that's a great way to explain it. And it's, very sad to hear, actually. I know that you are, that you have that kind of continuous stress and anxiety. And the way you explained it was it's just like always there.
Yeah.
And
not to mention the depression is very similar there. And my anxiety feeds to my depression. Because I'm really anxious, I do feel more depressed. And vice versa, if I'm feeling really depressed one day because I'm just either subconsciously or consciously, thinking about all the things I've lost in my life, having schizophrenia, to just all of that together, they feed back and forth in each other, and I'm constantly feeling some sort of depression or anxiety. And the depression and anxiety aren't always severe, like I said, but they are always there. And I've noticed even in like times when I'm supposed to be happy, like I don't know, but at some point when I'm supposed to feel happy, right? Like Christmas or something, when I actually am at that point, say legitimately happy, part of me is still like, this doesn't feel right. I should be depressed because I'm so used to being depressed.
What about though when you're out with maybe your cousin for the day and you have lunch, and you're out at the mall maybe?
Sometimes I'll have one of my cousins come over, or I'll go visit my cousin and one of my cousins, a few of them. And for example, one of them, he'll come over and we'll go get, I guess, brunch at Good Stuff, which is a restaurant not that far from here. We'll go there and then we'll also go to the mall. He'll drive over and we'll just go shopping and stuff. Like I look for games and video games and stuff like that and talk and have a good time. But even then, I still have anxiety and stress and depression. It's just not quite as severe when I'm around family.
Interesting. So the it really is cognitive issues along with the anxiety and depression. Of course, there's medication for that. Stephen's taking some medication for depression, and along with antipsychotic medications. But there are side effects with the medication, and it's something that is important to continue to take as prescribed.
For sure.
But it's easy to blame the medication for all kinds of issues that one may have, and
because I had never stopped taking my medication. I realized how important it is for me. However, like you mentioned, the side effects, they are very real. And that one of the main ones would be sedation, which doesn't help when I'm already exhausted and tired. And having cognitive issues, because when you're sedated, you have more cognitive issues generally. So the medication, while I realize is completely necessary for my health and well-being, does still impact me as well, negatively in some ways, like the sedation, for example, or extreme hunger, which for a while I was not in great shape because of that. I've learned since to eat healthier and try to eat less. I don't drink soda or have like really sugary foods really. And for a while though, I was eating way too much, and especially even now, like at night, say around like 8 o'clock at night, I get irrationally hungry and I have to eat. So I've learned to eat cereal and stuff as opposed to chips. I still eat chips sometimes, but I try to eat healthier snacks instead.
Yeah, you stay away from alcohol and any type of recreational drugs, which is so important.
Stay away from both of those for sure.
You put in that type of overlay over the illness and the medication, then it's just you're asking for real problems.
Sure.
And a whole host of other issues. So that's very fortunate. I think you're doing very well, Stephen.
Thank you.
You're doing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Obviously, it's very difficult to live with schizophrenia.
Yes.
Is there something you could tell, those that are supporting people with schizophrenia? What's really important to you in the support that we might provide or could potentially provide?
The first thing that comes to mind is sometimes I just need space. And if I'm incredibly stressed out, space can help. And also talking through it doesn't always work in that moment.
So interesting. So the just being there to support you, but also just when you're anxious, giving you your space.
Mm-hmm. Instead of trying to talk, this is for me, trying to talk through the issue, just give me some space for a bit, and then I can calm down more myself and relax more, and then I can maybe come back to you for that support.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Stephen. Well, wow. That's your daily reality. Surviving
It's
schizophrenia.
Yeah, it's not easy, and it's very hard actually. But that doesn't mean I don't have a rewarding and fulfilling life still.
Oh, I like that. Can you say a little bit more on that and how you see your life going?
Yeah, so for a while, my life was horrible, and I didn't think it would go anywhere. Then I started this channel, and my life is now going way better, and I am recovering way faster than I otherwise had.
Is that because you really do you think you have purpose in life? Why is that? What's
Purpose, for sure. Support, even more so from all of you watching. And I lost my train of thought.
probably a shared experience, right? I mean, everyone wants. Is that part of it, Stephen? A shared experience. So just before you lost your train of thought, you were saying that it was the support you receive on your channel.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what shared experience means, but just knowing that people care about me and that I can help other people too.
Right. I mean, shared experience would be where other people are saying, in comments, for instance, that they have a loved one with schizophrenia, or they themselves have schizophrenia or schizoaffective.
That too, for sure. Yes, I'd agree with that. And so things have changed so rapidly for me in my life that in a way I never expected. And so now, instead of seeing my life as over, I see my life as beginning anew.
Oh, that's so awesome, Stephen.
And like you said, what do I envision for the future? More of this, for sure. I'm going to keep trying to, one, help other people and destigmatize schizophrenia and serious mental illness in general, hopefully. Do my best to do that. And continue to heal myself and become healthier.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Happier.
Oh, that's so awesome, Stephen. That gives me so much pride.
So that's my daily struggles and my reality, surviving schizophrenia. It was really bad for a while, but it is definitely getting way better. And I'm sure in the future, it will just get even better than that.
Yeah, there is hope, for those suffering from schizophrenia. There's just Stephen is a clear example of that. It was a very, very tough road for the first 3 or 4 years. Very tough.
And even after that.
And then even after that. So it's a journey, and, there is, great hope.
But you can survive it.
Yes,
That
absolutely.
is possible.
Yes, and I think you can not only survive, but you can thrive.
Yes.
If you find, if you've got the right support and, maintain adherence to medication. And,
as your doctor would say.
Yes.
So thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I really appreciate you being here, and it means a lot to both of us.
Yes.
And we both hope you have a happy and healthy rest of your day. And we hope to see you in the next video. Bye.
We'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.